All right, I'm going to tell you something about love and relationships that you've never heard before from anybody unless you've been listening to me. You ready? Love does not exist. That's right. I said it. Love doesn't exist. What exists is compassion, adoration, love, respect, support, attraction. I come up with some words. I actually wrote them down. Affection, warmth, intimacy, tenderness, passion, devotion, adoration, fondness, infatuation, endearment, cherishing, romance, attachment, compassion, delight, harmony, embrace, enchantment, sweetness, appreciation, bliss, contentment, and loyalty. Do those words sound familiar to you? And do you feel some of them with somebody whom you love? So in this video, I'm going to prove to you that love doesn't exist. It doesn't actually exist. Love is just an idea. Love is actually a meme. Love is an idea, which is what a meme is. A meme is an idea which is shared by a lot of people in a community. A shared idea, a shared meme. So when you ask 10 people what their definition of love is, how many definitions do you think you'll get? You'll get 10 different definitions. Let's take it a little bit further and let's ask 100 people. If you were to ask 100 people what their definition of love is, how many definitions do you believe you'll get? You'll get 100 definitions. Okay, let's prove it a little bit more absurd. Let's ask 1,000,000 people what their definition of love is. Guess what? Every individual will have their own definition of what love is. You'll get 1,000,000 different definitions. What does that mean? It means love has no meaning. Love does not exist. Love will be different for different people. Love, for some people, will have endearment. It'll require loyalty. It'll have affection. For some people, it doesn't require loyalty. It has affection. It doesn't even involve sex for some people. Do you understand? Love is just an idea. It's just a meme in which people have agreed upon. This is what love is. It has this and this and this. And if you are in this contractual thing, we refer to as a marriage, a partnership of two individuals, which comprises of a man and a woman. Remember, same-sex marriage didn't exist until very recently in history. So if you were in a partnership between a man and a woman, then love must exist. Otherwise, what's a marriage? A marriage without love? That's insane. That's insanity. That doesn't happen, does it? So words in and by themselves have no meaning unless it's given meaning by meaning givers, which is people. An individual, you and I, we are meaning givers. Some people ask, what's the meaning of life? And then there are a bunch of these gurus that say, oh, the meaning of life is this, the meaning of life is this. Guess what the meaning of life is? The meaning of life is the meaning which is given by a meaning giver, which is what a human is. The meaning of life is the meaning that the person gives it. And every person will have a different meaning it's given into words. It's imbued into words. It's transmuted into words. You understand? So, what I mean by words have no meaning. Words have no meaning. If you go to any country which doesn't speak English and you speak to them in English and they have no idea what you're saying, your words have no meaning. Surprise? Words intrinsically have no meaning. If you speak to someone in Japan in English and they only speak Japanese in rural areas, guess what? Your words have no meaning. It only has meaning once you give it meaning. Once you point out this thing you're holding is an orange, and they're like, what's an orange? In their language, in Japanese, and you're like, orange. And now you have done something called, you have imbued meaning into something. You have cast the word and transmuted this item into this meaning, which is the word orange, into this meaning. And now you've agreed upon the meaning of words. So what does that tell you? It tells you that for words to have meaning, you have to want to communicate with other people, number one. If you don't, number one is the most important thing. You want to communicate. Once it's established that you want to communicate with another person, then you have to establish then, what do these words mean? What you point out is an orange, and they're like, oh, okay, orange means this thing. This thing. Fruit means this thing. Fruit, orange. Understand? Now you have a shared definition of that word. What about the concept? Concepts are incredibly complicated words. Kind of like honor. How do you define honor? What's your definition of honor? Think about that. Going back, what is the definition of love? Love does not exist. Remember the words that I gave you in the beginning of this video? Fondness, devotion. These are all things that love comprises. Love involves some of these things, but not all of them. For some people, love requires loyalty. For some people, what is loyalty? For some people, they'll say, I don't require your loyalty for me to love you. I just want you to exist. Understand? Don't worry, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you the definition of love. My definition of love. So, these things, affection, warmth, intimacy, tenderness, if they're in love, they're part of love, how do we then make sense of love? How you make sense of love is you recognize that love doesn't exist. There is tenderness, there's affection, but affection is affection. Warmth is warmth. Passion is passion. Devotion is devotion. There are words which have, independent of themselves, have their own meanings. Attachment is attachment. You know how some people have attachment when it comes to love? You know how some people they say, in love, there's a sweetness. Sweetness is sweetness. Appreciation is appreciation. Bliss is bliss. What was that thing I was thinking about? I just forgot it when I was just saying it. There are some people in their relationships, their definition of love, I want you to get this, it's absolutely crazy. They say, and you might not think it's crazy because you're indoctrinated, but I'm going to prove to you it's crazy. So some people in their relationships, they require jealousy in their relationship. They require it. I want you to think about how insane that is. If someone doesn't demonstrate jealousy in the relationship, do they really love you? That's what they say. Jealousy is a compound emotion of two emotions. It's not a primary emotion. It's a compound emotion of fear of loss and rage from feeling that fear of loss. I want you to differentiate that from envy. Envy is someone having something which you don't have and you're wanting that thing, and the pain you feel because you want that thing. That is what envy is. Different from jealousy. So how do you make sense of this? Recognize that love doesn't exist. It only exists as a meme, as an agreed upon idea. It's not even a concrete idea, like an objective thing. It's not like a cat. The word cat means, or in Japanese, neko. Neko. the word cat, you can point to an animal and know that's a cat. Some people will say a bobcat is a cat, but it's a completely different animal. Not entirely different animal, but it's definitely not a house pet. So while cat is more objective, love is more subjective. And it's a convoluted concept, which is just a meme, an idea people agreed upon. This is love. This is what's required of love. And then you're stuck into this feeling that say, hey, I'm in a partnership with someone. Do I actually love them? Well, think about it. What's your definition of love? And what's their definition of love? How about this? You begin a relationship with somebody. You begin a friendship. And you recognize, what's the point in which I love them? Do they love me? And do I love them? Is love involved in the relationship? Well, it depends. It depends on how you define what love is and how they define what love is. You understand? This is where it becomes complicated. So I want you to recognize, what's the action item here? I want you to recognize what love is and what love is for you. And I want you to recognize, you don't actually scratch that. You don't even have to recognize what love is. Forget what love is. You have affection, adoration, you have infatuation, whatever the case is in a particular situation, in a particular dynamic with a particular individual. We got that. Forget that love exists. It doesn't exist. Love is just an idea in which you share, which comprises of these individual words, which have their individual meanings, and you have these feelings which you would like to put into words, and sometimes it's easier to say it's love. Love actually is, by my definition, is your genuine desire and wanting for your beloved's happiness, well-being, and gain. Anything that's not that, anything that's not your wanting genuinely for your beloved's happiness, well-being, and actualization, is it love? No, obviously it's a demonstration of lack of love. You don't love them if you demonstrate things that demonstrates the opposite of your wanting for your happiness, well-being, and gain. Or you love them less. Or there are things that are inhibiting you from loving them completely. So what are these things that obstruct love? Things like jealousy. Jealousy, your fear of loss, because and the rage you feel because you feel that fear of loss gives you this behavior we refer to as the jealous behavior. Either you're stopping them from going out, you're stopping them from seeing people they want to see, you're stopping them from pursuing a career they want to pursue, you're stopping them from doing things that they like that actualizes them because your fear of loss and stupidity. Or not necessarily stupidity, maybe it's stupidity, but it's more your unwitting approach to jealousy and relationships and love because you haven't learned until you recognize these new ideas that I'm imparting to you now. Which is why I'm such an advocate for open relationships, because open relationships is the only style of relationship which takes care of the jealousy aspect at the outset. It doesn't say people don't get jealous. It says that we take care of jealousy right now. Jealousy is not part of this relationship. Because jealousy is a demonstration of your lack of love. An open relationship does not have the traditional marriage contract. An open relationship, well, in the style that I encourage you to pursue, is based on your genuine wanting for your beloved's happiness, well-being, and gain, and actualization. You want to go see the other guy, that other gal? I support you completely 100% because it makes you happy and actualized. How can I help you pursue them? Would you like me to talk to them so I can introduce you to? Because you haven't met yet. Oh, you like my friend? I would love to introduce you to my friend. Do you like her? Do you find her cute? Come, let me introduce you to. I can give you a warm introduction. Oh, you like my guy friend? Come, let me introduce you to him. I think he's a really cool guy. We share a lot of commonalities. There's some things that we don't agree upon, but I think you like him. Come meet him. What does that do? It helps her or him actualize. Get what makes them happy. Does that diminish the love you have for each other? Well, does a mother having more children diminish her love for her previous children? No. The love is not a subtractive, it's an additive. The more you love, the more you can love. So I want you to increase your emotional intelligence, your relationship intelligence. Go to greatrelationshipsyou.com. Take the course. It's measly, I think, $9 for 8 hours of video content. Why is it $9? Why isn't it $300? It's because I want you to have access to it. I want everyone to have access to it because I want the world to be a better place for me. I want the world to be a better place for you. And let's help each other make the world a better place by sharing these ideas about love and relationships without the bigotry, without the stupidity of jealousy. I'll see you in the next video. Share comments below. Share this video with other people to help make the world a better place for all of us. I'll see you next time. Bye.